Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marley. You're watching Marley's Inspiration. I'm coming on here because I want to share with you a dream that I just woke up from about an hour ago. Now, you know that I only share dreams with you that I absolutely feel led to share with you. And this one is definitely a dream that I feel led that I need to share with you. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the dream, and then we'll talk after. So in the dream, I was in this building. It was a high-rise building. It was like a hotel. And it went like, I know, 20, 30 stories high. I went to my neighbor's house in this building. And there was this little old Chinese lady. I have to say specifically she was Chinese because there's a purpose in it. So she was Chinese. She came up to me and she asked me if I would go with her to look at her garden. And I said, yes, of course. So I went downstairs with her, and I walked over to the front of the garden because I followed her and she went over to the front of the garden. And as we got over to the front of the garden, she drew my attention to something. She said, look. So I looked. And when I looked, I saw this giant pole, like it went 200 feet in the air. It was really, really high. And then covering this pole was this giant dish. It was a giant dish. And so, let me turn this light on really quickly so I can show you, because I drew a picture. A friend of mine, when I told her this morning about my dream, she asked me to draw a picture. So I drew a picture. Now keep in mind that I'm not an artist, but this is what I saw. Okay, now this dish, it oscillated. And if you don't know what oscillation means, basically, you know how your fan, it turns, it's called oscillating. So that's what that was. It was an oscillating dish. And it was round, and it had all those little things all around it. And so whenever I saw that, I looked in the middle of the dish and there was a name on it. The only thing that I remember about that name is the last two letters, R-O. That's all I remember, R-O. So, once I saw this, I knew I needed to take a picture of it, because she told me, as I was standing there, she said, this dish is used for biometrics, weather modification, and military purposes. It is meant to be a secret. A Chinese military secret. And then I went upstairs because I wanted to take a picture of it. So I was going to go upstairs and get my camera. After I got upstairs, I grabbed my camera. I went back downstairs, thinking that I was going to get a picture. The closer I got, there was this Chinese man, and he was standing there. And I knew within me not to tell him that I knew about the dish. So I made up an excuse, and I went over and asked him. I said, will you take a picture of me? And he was so nice. He said, yes, I will. So I showed him how the camera worked, and then thinking that I was going to get the dish in the background. But this man waited until the oscillation was out of view, until the dish was out of view, before he took the picture. And then he snapped the picture. So I looked at my camera and I went back upstairs. I got my camera and I went back upstairs. When I went back upstairs, I went back into this house, or this apartment, and I went over to this little old lady, and I told her, I said, I heard you make the best peanut butter chocolate balls for Christmas. And she said, yes, I do. And I said, would you mind making me some this Christmas? And she said, of course I will. And I woke up. Now, I want you to pay attention, sorry, Lord. Yes, there's another part that I need to tell you about. So after I got upstairs, and I was talking to her about her peanut butter chocolate balls, I went over to the window and I noticed that the garden had changed from a garden to the ocean. It was like a sudden change. It went from a garden to an ocean. And so I saw all these people that were in the ocean and they were swimming. All of a sudden, there was water that was coming in from the side, just like this. The ocean was in front of me, but the water was coming from the side. I said, where's this water coming from? So I look over to my left, and there's this mountain, and there's rivers of water flowing from this mountain into the ocean where people are swimming. And I remember no one got harmed. This water did not cause harm. Like, it just flowed freely. And then I woke up. Now, I want you to pay attention to the fact that there were 3 purposes for this dish. 3 purposes: weather modification, biometrics, military. The fact that it was a secret in the dream tells me that it's highly secret, because even the man, I was not allowed to let him know that I knew. The woman, she knew that I needed to know. So she took me there and she showed me. Now, in this field, listen, in this dream, I was in China. I was not in the U.S., I was in China. So there is something that is coming. I'm going to pray more on this dream. I ask you to pray more on this dream. Remember, everything that I give you, take it back to the Lord in prayer. Don't just take my word for it. Go back to the Lord in prayer and ask Him to show you what it is that you need to know. Now, keep in mind, over the past 2 weeks, I've had 2 dreams. The first one was about what was going on in the hospital. The second one was about people being raised from the dead. I will link both of those videos below for anyone who has not seen them. Listen, now is the time more than ever for you to know Jesus for yourself. It's not religion, it's relationship. You need to have a relationship with God. You need to be spending time with Him daily in prayer. You need to be reading His Word, because there is a famine of the Word coming. I've been telling you this since 2020, when the Lord started showing me a day is coming when here in the U.S. we will not have our Bibles, and we will need to know His Word. We will need to have it written in our hearts. And that time is drawing near. And this is not to invoke fear. This is not to bring fear, because fear is not of God. And God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. This is to make you aware. Get ready, church. Get ready, brothers and sisters. Jesus is coming so very soon. I love y'all. I pray you have a blessed day. If you want to contribute to either purchasing a shirt, or my Cash App, or my PayPal, or my GoFundMe, all the links will be below, and then all proceeds go towards my mission trip. And I will tell you that I am going to the Philippines. I'm going to the Philippines. I'm going to do a missions trip in the Philippines. So I want everyone to please continue keeping me in prayer. Take this dream before the Lord. And remember, I will have the other 2 dreams linked below for anyone who has not seen them. So you can see, once again, the Lord is issuing warnings. Are you paying attention? I love y'all. Keep looking up. Jesus is coming so, so very soon.